Saudi Arabia wants to cut oil production. A lot of speculation that this has to do with the Aramco's stock market debut. How will oil cuts boost exactly Aramco's chances of a public offering?
Thank you for having me here today. Yes, in a perfect world, production cuts would boost oil prices, and this will be warmly received by Aramco. However, we do not live in a perfect world. I believe that in the short term, a 400-barrel production cut on top of the existing ones has the potential to elevate oil prices, but in the medium to longer term, any gains will be limited by demand-side dynamics and, of course, US shale. Firstly, we have to keep in mind that US shale production has actually jumped to a record at 12.46 million barrels a day, which is renewing over supply concerns. At the same time, we have trade drama between the two largest energy consumers in the world. So this is fueling concerns over demand for crude oil. And when we add this on top of this as well, even if anything goes through on a production cut, we still need to put Moscow. Moscow has actually adopted a hard-line stance towards any production cut. So
which brings me to my next question.
Things together, I just believe this is a short-term.
It's a bit complicated, isn't it?
It's a short-term fix to a longer-term problem.
Yeah, the Aramco oil flotation is due to happen on December 5th, on the same day that OPEC, the organization of countries that export and produce oil, are meeting in Vienna. Can the Saudis, the question is, convince other producers like Russia, you mentioned Russia, and Nigeria also, to deepen cuts? What leverage do they have?
We just need to look at the shifting dynamics of the oil markets and the unfavourable global macroeconomic conditions, and we already have an answer to your question. While Saudi Arabia can push OPEC members, we have to keep in mind that many of these energy-producing members have been influenced by trade developments. For example, if you look at Nigeria's economy, we know that Nigeria agreed to keep production capped around 1.774 million barrels a day. But if you look at reports, they've been pumping well above 1.8 million barrels a day, and their 2020 budget shows that they want to pump around 2.1 million barrels a day. So when we understand how trade developments are negatively impacting many emerging market currencies, especially OPEC producers, there's only so much Saudi Arabia can do before threatening to pull the OPEC deal apart.
The ambition for the Aramco IPO has scaled back considerably since 2016. How much do you expect Aramco to fetch on its market debut? Are investors more confident about it now?
This is a very complicated question, which many people do not know the answer to. But what my conclusion to this is, I think it will be really influenced on how the OPEC meeting goes. As I said, there's two things that could happen. We could either see the production cut that would elevate oil prices, which would be very good for Aramco, or OPEC could just end up extending the current production cut, which would see oil prices push lower, and it could impact the IPO.
OK, thank you so much for speaking to us about this. We appreciate your insight. Lukman Otunuga, Senior Research Analyst at FXTM, live there from London. Thank you very much for your time.